Welcome to the Agency Navigators podcast. I'm Merle.
I'm Don.
And we are happy, grateful, and blessed to be with you today. This one isn't going to be, I think, one of the more
unusual
topics. What we have found is in our communications, in our meetings, even in our travels, the topic of AI has just been ever present. I have no other words to.
Absolutely. In the full disclaimer, we fully support AI and its capabilities when used in the correct manner.
Yeah, that is very well said. Very well said. Because today, technically, we were talking about AI versus HI, the value of human intelligence.
Hi. Human intelligence.
You had that planned out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How can I not? You know, as we look at the buzz around AI,
and in the independent insurance industry, it is.
Have we forgotten about what we're going to call today HI, human intelligence? Because the life that we live and the problems that we solve are so often rooted in deep human issues that HI is just not ready for.
I'm not sure I am some days. If you know us, you know we are very dedicated to our agency partners who are a part of the AgencyCFO Mastery Program. They have a couple standing calls with us every month, and our team, whether it's Kayla or Shauna or even Adam, we're all a part of client integration. We put you guys first. And there have been moments, especially in 2025, Don, we've gotten off of calls and Don will look at me and say,
well, we didn't really talk about any numbers, did we?
Like, I just want my numbers back.
Yeah.
So it's the human. There are definite applications of AI. We are even using it to do some of the script recaps. When it comes to the podcast, we don't use it for our numbers.
No, I think that AI is really in the world of efficiency and improving productivity, everything that a CFO loves. And yet, there is also, we don't want the issues of managing and leading are surprisingly, inherently very, very human.
This came up a couple weeks ago, and we were with a dear friends of ours who are he's an agency owner and his second in command, his COO, and we were just thrilled to be with them. And they were talking technology. And I know any of our independent insurance agency owners, if I ask you, how many pieces of technology have you bought in your lifetime as a business owner because you've been at an event or at a conference or you heard a speaker or even a podcast? It's always about that next layer of technology, the next great thing. And we were talking to these dear friends of ours, and they have, in some cases, even duplicate software.
And we see this very much a willingness or a eagerness to invest in the next piece of AI, the next software platform.
Anything, not necessarily AI, but any technology.
Absolutely.
And when it comes down to it, what are we doing to the teams, the human side of it? How many people on our teams are really using it? Do you have 2 different PL raters that are being used by some, but not all, and it's all over the place? So one of the points I wanted to really make today was an epiphany I had as the COO and I were walking, and a deep, deep conversation as we just keep adding layers of technology on. And maybe we should take it down and do a review and start from the bottom up again. What do we need for an agency management system? What do we need for an accounting platform? If we need a PL rater or a CRM, whatever it is, let's build up if you really want to do a deep dive, if you feel like you've caught on and you've done so much technology, strip it back, go back to the basics and build it up again, because it's easy. And that's part of the human intelligence, is to know what software do you really need? What technology do you really need? You are the human intelligence to determine that for your agency.
Absolutely. We see this time and time again. And I think the buzzword a couple of years ago was tech stack.
Yes. So let's review these tech stacks we've got going on. So one of my key takeaways that I'd love for all of you to really contemplate in thinking about AI, which is we're using as a general technology, that artificial intelligence, the software intelligence, whatever you want to call it, versus the human intelligence, is let's put the human intelligence and manage our technology better.
Yeah, we see so many agencies making that investment in AI and other forms of technology, and doing so without the balance or thinking about, do I really need more AI or more technology, or do I need to purchase human resource?
Now the second part of
Coaching,
this conversation.
mentoring, other skill sets, acquisition. How could we utilize? We have only a certain amount of dollars to spend.
I was just thinking that actually it's because we were on a different call this week, and the agency owner says, I always get a great deal. I'm always one of the first adopters, and I'm sure he's listening, so I'm not going to call you out by name, but that resonated with us. Is yes, you're an early adopter. Yes, you get the great discount, but over time, those great discounts go away. And what you're doing is you're hurting your bottom line, the value of your agency dollar, in terms of
Are you technology risk? And I would say
rich and human poor.
Unfortunately, that's what we see so many times now.
Yeah.
Is the investment has become unbalanced, where everybody is overweighting the technology and not thinking about, maybe I should be not making that investment in technology, but I should be making my investment in some human resources that would really assist the agency at a higher level.
And that leads into the human touch in all of this. As Don just said, the coaching, the mentoring. There's also another part of the human touch. It's who you're hiring. And we've got in future episodes, I went through and developed a really whole host of new tools for our mastery clients in terms of ideal candidates. But the idea is, if we're spending so much money on our technology platforms, yet we are undercutting what we're paying, who we're attracting in terms of this has come up lately, the roles we're hiring for. And it is just the nature of it. You do get what you pay for.
From the CFO perspective, whether we like it or not, we are in a extremely human business. Our team members are humans. All our insured clients are humans. Our carriers are staffed by humans. And we see that sometimes that we're losing sight of that.
Yes.
And thinking that technology solves all issues.
So you can hire someone inexperienced or without personal skills or soft skills, and the technology will make up for it.
And
that doesn't work.
No, there's a lot of things with managing and leading within the agency that are still human decisions that are and require human interaction. And I think that value proposition is very strong and sometimes now neglected.
That's really good. And I'm sitting here wondering, if they're over, let's say, 2 million in revenue, would they be better off? Would you be better off? Think about it yourselves as you're listening to this, buying that next piece of technology software, or hiring someone that can be developed into a chief operating officer, your second in command. And maybe it's even at $1 million in revenue.
Absolutely. And I think what I would say is, if you listed your priority concerns. We'll call it sources of noise, call it stresses.
3 a.m. conversations,
whatever you want to call it, and really look at them and say, is this going to be solved by a human resource or a technology or artificial intelligence resource? Really come to grips with,
that's good.
What are my real issues my biggest issues, and what is the appropriate solve?
Yeah, there's an epiphany in that, because how often, obviously, we talk to a lot of business owners. We're business owners. We understand it. And the problems we face on a day-to-day, whether it's getting the payroll software to work, or you've got to do an audit for your own insurance, or you need a recruiter, or client gifts. It just goes on and on. There's an endless bombardment of payments and bank accounts. How much of that, I'm sitting here thinking, I couldn't look at my computer and say, go do this for me. But my assistant, if we had a second in command, you could say, hey, this is my noise, what Don was just mentioning. And that's a shout out to Larry Linney, make the noise go away, to download that noise onto that person to handle it.
Absolutely.
More than likely, you're going to get more results out of that.
Does more technology and more AI equal less noise? And that's an important thing to consider.
Know that
is where to make an investment and not to neglect human intelligence as you're considering making investments in artificial intelligence and other technologies.
So work from the bottom up. Think about what you actually have to run the agency. Look at the cost of all of those extras, all of those technology platforms that you've added through the years at various conference and events for those great introductory rates that you just didn't get rid of. And what kind of capital does that free up for human investment?
Are you getting the return on investment that you were maybe sold? And can you measure it?
Good point. Because we know, we've been out there, the industry is screaming about AI and all of the investments in AI. Our words of advice before you go down that path, there are some really great applications for it, but take a deep dive into your technology stack now and your human stack, so to speak.
So at the end of the day,
make your comparison.
As CFOs, we'll tell you the same applies, whether you're evaluating the return on investment in your human investments or your technology and artificial investments. It really does come back to what is that return on investment? And it's applicable to all of your investments, human and less human.
So there you go. Really take a good look at it. I think you will be surprised.
Absolutely.
As always, please follow us on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. Reach out to info@AgencyCFO. We love to have conversations. We love to meet people. And if you're interested in being part of our world and becoming one of our agency partners, reach out. We are always open for great conversations. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Be financially well and humanly well.
The human now.
Take care.